Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video where I'm going to be going over 10 things that I wish I knew before I started Cookie Run Kingdom. Now let's not waste any time, let's get right into the video with number one, and that is the event shop. So guys, you might be hearing event shop and think it's under events. You would be wrong. It's actually under shop. And most people, when they think of the shop, they think of the 2 free supplies and they think of everything costing money. And while you're not wrong, there's a very easy thing to miss, especially in the earlier times when you're playing this game that is not so clear, and that is the event shop. So the event shop restocks about every 2 weeks, every time an update drops, and it stops some very nice items. So guys, as we can see here, we've got faithful cookie cutters that has 5 available, so you can get 10, get a whole pool of cookie cutters. Then we've also got the 10 epic soulstone choice chests that you can get 2 of. Guys, twice a month you can literally get any epic cookie you want. It's fantastic, and it doesn't stop there. We've got mysterious and radiant toppings that allow you to pick any cookie you want that has a radiant topping to be able to upgrade them further. And then guys, say you're in a position where you just got a good team and you want to go through a lot of story mode but you don't have the energy. Guys, in here only 72 juicy jelly, but down here guys, 800 stamina jellies. 800. That is enough to clear 2 whole chapters of the game, and that gets you a lot of diamonds. A lot. You're gonna make more than 2,400 diamonds beating 2 chapters worth of store. It is absolutely a great investment. And my favorite one of all, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, is the arena tickets. You can get 250 freaking tickets. 250. That seems so excessive, and sometimes it can be, but honestly, with how much you need to battle to be in the upper ranks in the arena and how many rewards you get for actively battling, it is absolutely worth it. The things you can get in the arena shop, the things you get from higher ranking rewards, all of them absolutely trump 11,000 gems for 250 arena tickets. Absolutely worth it, guys. So then we're gonna go on to number 2, and this is gonna be one of my favorite ones that I really emphasize in a lot of my videos if you guys have seen them, and that is going to be guilds. So if you know me, guilds are the thing I say that matter the most, and they absolutely do, guys. If you get in an active guild, you'll be getting so many rewards that you honestly will have an excessive amount of them. Let me show you how many medals I have just from being in an active guild where most of the guild fights. Guys, look at this. 38,000 heroic medals. I can buy legendary soulstones. I can buy epic soulstones. I can buy legendary essences, aurora items. I can buy relics. I can buy cookie cutters, toppings, experience jelly, level up for the guild, and we got heroic torches. And even further than that, guys, on top of all the medals you get from the guild battle, you also get, as mentioned before, the torches, which if you can see how much I have, that's a lot. 7.3 million. I got so many of these, I quite literally didn't even realize that I had 2-3 million until I was like, holy shit, I've got 2-3 million. And 1 month later, I got 4-5 million. It's crazy, guys. Really, be in an active guild and you will reap the benefits from it. So guys, coming up next is gonna be another important thing that's easy to miss, and that is landmarks. So guys, landmarks are items that can give you kingdom boosts as well as cookie boosts. So if we take a look at this right here, the Star Candy Observatory, now you can see coins from battles plus 6%. I didn't upgrade that full away because it really isn't that important, but the ones that affect the cookies, boy oh boy, they're crazy. Guys, all cookies attack plus 10%. And that's not all. So then guys, we got the Morning Dew Garden as well. All cookies HP plus 10%. We go further. All cookies damage resist plus 15%. I'm sure you guys are aware of how useful that is. An extra 15% damage resist across every single cookie. It's huge. You don't even need to add that to toppings. You don't need to add that to anything. You just get it applied to cookies. And guys, even further, there's one particular landmark that I love the most, and that's going to be the Ancient Hero statue. Guys, Ancient Cookies HP plus 20%. Pure Vanilla Awakened, Hollyberry about to be awakened, and we've got Dark Cacao and Golden Cheese Awakened. Guys, those things are massive to help them out. Do not forget and miss these landmarks. And then for number 4, guys, we have got the mileage points. So I'm gonna be making a video about grinding the mileage points and how to easiest get them, but really these things are one of the most important items in the game. They allow you to get any epic soulstone of your choosing, and on top of that you can get arena tickets, which honestly I don't recommend, but the 2 other big ones, 10-minute speed ups and treasure tickets. Guys, your 2 top priorities for mileage points should be treasure tickets and soulstones. And really really why that's important is because if your treasures are low level, it doesn't matter if your cookies are the same, you know, ascension and everything else as the opponent's cookies. If you have worse treasures, you're most likely gonna lose. So it's important to keep in mind what you need and how to get it. If you have low level treasures, focus on the treasure tickets. But if you have a specific cookie that you like, you know, maybe you really like green tea cookies design, maybe you think nutmeg tiger cookies beautiful, or maybe you just think butter roll cookies also handsome. Maybe I'm not putting my opinion out there. Maybe. Point being though is do what you like. You know, but don't miss this. This is a really easy way to get what you want and whatever it is. Hopefully it's treasure tickets and soul stones. And guys, that brings me to my next one. Now, as we look across my tattered kingdom in progress, you might see a lot of houses. And guys, that is what is number 5. Houses are vital. Now, I've gone over this in multiple videos, like my video top 7 mistakes that beginners make. And it's something that I've really considered the biggest mistake because it is so useful. Guys, 1300 star jelly every 15.5 hours. Now, my time's reduced due to the lab, which I'll also go over in this video. But point being is that you take that amount of star jelly you get, times it by the houses you get. This is the primary source of experience star jelly in the game. You won't be able to get this amount of jelly from anywhere else without sacrificing something. Bounties, you're giving up skill powders. Special episodes, you're not really giving up anything, but you're wasting your stamina jelly. And the houses quite literally cost nothing. They don't cost stamina jelly. They don't cost any metals. They don't cost anything. You just literally buy them with coins and upgrade them with Aurora items, but they're passive. You just keep getting the experience. You know what I mean? Go for it. They're fantastic. Don't forget them. And speaking of upgrading houses, that brings me to number 6, and that is gold. You will run out of gold. And sooner than later, you'll be thinking, maybe I should spend some gems on gold. You know, and if you look at these currency rates, you know that's hot garbage. Do not do that. You will regret it. When you are low on gold, there is one primary thing you want to do, and that is the tree of wishes. And guys, with the recent addition of the 5x wishes, it is easier than ever to really be able to get a lot of money. And I just want to add further the burning time. Guys, so every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you will be able to get 30% more cash, more gold for your wishes than you would normally. So if you're, you know, low on gold and you're stockpiling a lot of items, keep that in mind. You will be able to just get to the weekend and get a lot more money for the exact same stuff. And that leads me to number 7, which I touched on a moment or two before, and that is going to be bounties. So guys, I've seen a lot of people say, you know, that bounties can be used for a variety of reasons, and they're not wrong. Quite literally, yeah, you have a variety of things you can use it for. But what I want to emphasize is skill powders are by far the hardest item to get amongst all of these. They're by far. You don't need sugar crystals until you're getting crystal gems and magic and such as that. You don't need jelly because you can get the houses for it. Gold, you've got the tree of wishes, and chaos cake pieces, you have the tower. Skill powder, quite literally, this is the main source. I'm not even kidding. You might get them from awards. You might get them from story missions. There isn't anywhere that you can grind them out consistently like bounties. So when it comes to bounties, if you really are trying to maximize them, go for the skill powders. And an important thing to note is that you can switch what skill powder you get. If you hit this arrow, you're allowed to pick whichever one you want. You can also see how much you have of it by clicking on it. So you can see which one you have the least of and go from there. So then the next one is number 8, guys. Participate in the events. Now this one might seem obvious, and I'm not trying to say simple things like, oh, do the boss rush, or, you know, oh, do the recent events that are going on. I mean the things on the side that you really don't immediately have access to. Things like, in this right now, Pavlova Cookie's lovely card spread, which you get one available a day, and it's pretty nice. But aside from that, guys, this is primarily what I'm actually talking about. The Juicy Stamina Jelly Challenge is a great example of this. Guys, so just by doing 100 stamina jellies a day, using 120 stamina jellies a day, I get 36 stamina jellies and 100 Light of Sloth for Eternal Sugar. Guys, so just by doing this event has a total of 28 days. That's almost 3,000 Light of Sloth just by quite literally playing the game. Now, this isn't some special event. This isn't some kind of thing that you have to participate in specially like boss raid. It's literally just playing the story mode and you get crazy good rewards for it. So guys, keep that in mind. Up to number 9 now, guys, and that is going to be the Hall of Ancient Heroes. heroes. So the Hall of Ancient Heroes is very useful for the early game. And the reason why is because, you know, if you're not familiar with it, the 5 heroes you put in the Hall of Ancient Heroes, any cookies that you put in there scale up to their level. So for example, this is the best case for when you're just starting off or you finally got 5 cookies max level. And if you don't want to have to level up every single cookie to level 90 or just, you know, the ones you like, because realistically, I don't even have all the cookies up to level 90. I feel like even Hyrule or people like that don't have all the cookies up to level 90 because you don't really need it. You know what I mean? You really don't need it. But this Hall of Ancient Heroes is the perfect way of getting those cookies you actually do want to get up to level 90, without actually having to get them up to level 90. I know I said level 90 a lot. I hope I didn't lose you guys, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And guys, that leads me to the final thing I knew and something that I emphasize in multiple of my videos, and that is power is not everything. So guys, a lot of newer players, when they come into the game, they see these power levels and they think that must be how these cookies are scaled, and it's a reasonable thought, you know, quite literally logical. It's called power, you know what I mean? You would think that the higher the power, the stronger the cookie, but that's not the case. So if we go ahead and take a look at the cookie's power levels, let's take a look at Sea Fairy cookie. 578,000 power, you know, this is without toppings, without biscuits, so quite literally a very just bland build, and just for example purposes. You would see this and think, legendary cookie, 580,000 power without any toppings or biscuits, she must be very good. Don't get me wrong, Sea Fairy cookie's not bad. She's still a legendary cookie that's still above the average, but if you compare her 578 and then you look at someone like White Lily, who without toppings as well gets 498, you would think, well, Sea Fairy must be more useful than White Lily. And that is so far from the truth, guys. White Lily, I love her design. She's one of my favorite cookies. But White Lily is also just an extremely good cookie. You know what I mean? One day awaken this woman, I'm going to be terrified, but excited. But point being is that power levels and everything, it's much more to do with the skill, the synergy the cookies have, and the team builds that are applicable to them. White Lily doesn't have an element right now, but still, even without the element, she quite literally makes better teams than Sea Fairy does, who's on the worst elemental team at the moment. Now I expect Dev Sisters to buff up the water elemental team in the future, maybe with some new cookies, but that's something that we'll deal with then. Point being, guys, though, don't rely on power levels when you're making your cookies and making your teams, or else you might just be crippling yourself in the process. So guys, that is 10 things I wish I knew before I started playing Cookie Run Kingdom. And you know, if you guys liked any of these tips, or you know, have something else you want to share with other people, leave a comment below. Hopefully we can help each other out. This is a community after all, you know what I mean? We're Cookie Run players together. This is what it's about, you know what I mean? People get stressed out about life. They think about the bigger picture. Sometimes it's just nice to smell the flowers and play a game about cookies, you know what I mean? And I hope you guys get to enjoy your day doing exactly that. And I hope I also get to see you at my next video.